Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing? Little different setup here. Likely going to be that way because we're moving, and so everything that's on that side of the camera is in shambles. So we may miss a few of these FinTips videos as we move, but on to bigger and better things. Hey, well, IPOs have really just been all over the place in terms of brand recognition for 2021. And one of the big ones actually coming up July 27th or so is Robinhood, ticker symbol HOOD. And so likely you have a Robinhood account, as I'm about to show you based on the numbers here, but should you buy it? And if you are going to buy it and you are a Robinhood client, then they're going to let you they're holding back some shares so you could buy it through the platform if you want. But should you? Let's take a look, because I've given them some grief over the years, as they're startups. I often do. I mean, naturally, startups, don't make money on day one, so I give them a little grief. But here we go. Some of the data points that you want to know for Robinhood. Monthly active users. Now, going forward, when they report earnings, you've often seen this on the closing beat where I say, hey, for Twitter, right? Monthly active users, MAUs, or daily active users, DAUs, is one of the things that they focus on for names like Twitter. Subscriber counts would be something that we focus on for Netflix when they report earnings. Well, monthly active users for Robinhood is going to be a big one because it's essentially skyrocketed. 2017, 1.8 million monthly active users. We're all the way up to 17.7 monthly active users. Now, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good unless you're able to generate revenue from them, and you don't expect that Robinhood would generate revenue in the beginnings, in the growth mode. But let's take a look. What we're going to look at is revenue per user, and then I went ahead and just put in revenue per new user. Now, this is based on their S1 that they filed, which has been about 2 weeks or so. And so I'm just taking the data from there. But anyways, in 2017, basically they had revenue per user of $27.20. That's how I broke it down, just to make it simple. In 2018, revenue of $53, really where we started to see a little bit of change here. They make $84 for every new person that they add. Remember over here, they added almost, well, not quite double, but they obviously had a significant increase year over year. So as we go 2019 and 20, that's great. Now where we stand pre-IPO, this is as the first quarter, because that's the data that we have available at the moment. The first quarter of 2021, they make $95 a user. Now that's important because if they make $95 and they're able to keep some of that, that means that they're profitable, and maybe that makes it a more attractive investment. Well, for every new user that they add, they make $142.80. Their profit margins, you're always going to give startups a little bit of a pass in the beginning, right? If you've been there, you've started a business, you don't really make a profit on day one. And that was definitely the case with Robinhood. They lost 8%, or their profit margin was negative 8%. 2017, it started chopping around, and this is very normal. They had some lawsuits. Well, you've seen them in the headlines, some of the challenges they've had to face here lately. But Robinhood's basically snapped back from that, now with a profit margin of 27.4%. Hey, all right, not bad before taxes and all that. Now, the question is, if you make that money, right, where do you make it? So a lot of times you think of a business as, well, they do this. No, they have different categories. They may have revenue, if it's a retail company, they may have revenue from selling shirts versus pants. That's an oversimplification of it. Well, Robinhood does a little bit of everything, right? They make revenue from selling order flow on stocks. They obviously are in crypto. They do options, right? So there's other things that you can do in there, and we want to break it down like that. So we want to see the revenue by asset, because this could actually be kind of a decision maker for you. Here we go. This is year over year data, but we're looking at crypto. Went from 4.4% to 21% this quarter versus first quarter of last year. Okay, a significant increase in how their revenue breaks down by asset. Stocks basically stayed the same. There's no real change there. Their initial sort of launch, their bread and butter, stays right at about a third of overall revenues. Options have fallen significantly, right? So it was that there were 62% this time last year, and why was it? Well, that was all the rage last year. I mean, that was a big deal. I think they just launched it shortly before that, the ability to buy and sell options. So, okay, that was a big part last year. Not so much of a big part this year, but you could also argue that crypto stole some of that thunder. So stocks, really basically the same. However, we have options falling and crypto rising. And that's pretty close to the same amount, right? So one thing to worry about here, or I don't know if it's a worry, but you are making more and more of a bet on Robinhood being a player in the crypto space, right? Their revenue is sort of dependent on it, 1/5 of their revenue. So that would be the warning, and I think they even put that in their initial release there, that that could be a problem, just like Coinbase did. Coinbase came out and said, well, obviously our regulations and how crypto is handled or accepted throughout the world is a significant risk. Well, now Robinhood has to say that a little bit there, I think. But nonetheless, hopefully that helps, give you something to think about there, and at least see some of the data. I love sharing the data more so than opinions because it's something you can take with you and share with people. I believe it was coming. Robinhood should be launching next week. I think they were targeting next week to go public. So we'll cover it on the closing beat live at 5 o'clock every day here on YouTube. And thanks for watching. We will see you later.